Hello, collective. Welcome back to Love, Light, and Life Affirmed, your daily affirmations for self love and growth. Hi, you guys. Welcome back into the channel. So, you guys, this is our weekly collective message. So, I'm going to pull a spread from Inner Wisdom. I'm just going to do one card at a time, get you guys some advice as far as the strength and abilities you guys will need to handle the situations that you might find yourself in. Of course, mixed with some personal experience. Hopefully it'll be useful for you. I will then also pull a spread from your higher self, just kind of give you some advice that might be useful for you as well. Then I will also pull oracles from Mystic, Cosmic Energy, get you guys a life message and your angel number at the end. All right. So let's tap in. Welcome back, all of my current followers and subscribers. Thank you guys so much for all your love and support of the channel. You guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you guys so much for all your love and support. I always pray that you guys are well in love and in life. But if not, hey, this is why we're here. We're all learning together as we go, right? Because this thing called life does not come with a handbook. And welcome in all of the incoming followers and subscribers. I'm so glad you guys found the channel. Welcome in. Make sure when you hit the subscription bell, make sure you hit the drop down and select all, just so you don't miss any of the other messages that I do post for you guys on a daily basis. All right, you guys, let's get this started. What is the most important messages for the collective that are needed at this time? Okay, the first one out, desperation in the upright. Never do anything out of desperation, because in doing so, you may never regain your dignity or your reputation. So there could be a group of you guys in the collective, or I could be talking to any cross watchers as well. Maybe you are doing things right now out of spite, out of desperation, out of resentment, out of anger, whatever it is you're doing, the actions you're taking, they're coming from a negative place. And you don't want to act out of your emotions. And usually, when you're acting out of desperation, that's exactly what's happening. You're usually making decisions from an emotional standpoint, and it's usually not based on logic. And doing so could definitely get you in a situation where you know, lose credibility, lose reputation. So, what's needed in order to help with this transformation? Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of healing is needed in these situations. A lot of people are triggered by different things in life, right? That's just normal. Triggers are going to happen because you can't control other people around you. You can't control the people and places and things in your life, because there is a thing called free will. And usually, once you are triggered, it just means that there's something within you, especially if you start acting out of desperation, if you start doing things that are outside of your normal character. I mean, or maybe this is just who you are. And maybe, again, you're just acting out based on a particular situation or something that's just happened. But usually, there's something within you that needs to be healed or addressed. So a level of transformation is needed. Maybe there's been some changes in your life that have triggered you, maybe major events, maybe loss, whether that's friendship, whether that's job, business. A lot of things happen, that can trigger us, that can make us start to act out of character or do things that we normally wouldn't do. And we just have to learn how to go with the ebbs and flows of life. I think, being angry after being triggered is what people expect. It is a typical response. Again, it's mostly because in the moment, people allow their emotions to take over. They stop using their logic. And so they start to do things without thinking. I think it's going to be important if you are trying to heal this to learn how to embrace the shifts of life that happen, the things that happen, the ebbs and the flows, as we say, right? Because usually it is pushing you towards some type of spiritual growth, some type of healing that's needed. It's trying to get you to look at some type of trauma that needs to be addressed. And it could be anything, so everybody's situation is going to be different. But yeah, definitely some growth, personal growth is needed. And you need to really reassess the decisions that you're making. Sometimes you can't come back from the acts that are done out of desperation. So sometimes you are also risking getting yourself into situations you can't get out of that are not so great. Let go love. Letting go of past love opens the door to new possibilities. Are you holding on to an old relationship? Release it and you'll find peace and the potential for new love. So this could be, a situation where maybe some of you guys are dealing with trying to move forward, and maybe you have someone in your life that doesn't want you to move forward. And so they are acting out of desperation. They are acting out of character. They are causing chaos and drama within your life because they don't want you to let go of them. This could be you, collective, also flip it where it goes. Maybe you have a hard time of letting things go. And because you don't want to let them go, again, there's now a level of chaos and drama that's going on in life. Sometimes, again, people allow the emotional side of them to completely take over to where they stop using any level of logic. And again, that emotional side usually gets people in a level of trouble, sometimes that they cannot get out of or that they deeply regret. So it is important to take a step back, I think, reassess whether, again, this is you collective or the person that you're attached to. Somebody needs to take a step back, take a moment, and truly think about the consequences that could occur, based on their actions. Yeah. And patience is needed here. Patience is the key to achieving your goals. Have you been feeling restless? Trust in the process and wait for things to unfold. Great outcomes take time. Maybe you feel stuck. Excuse me. Maybe you feel stuck in the situation, you know, um, so maybe that's where your desperation is coming from. That is also possible. You feel like you're ready to get out of a situation quickly. You're ready to walk away fast, but you know that there are things that you still have to handle, or you have to handle the situation delicately where you can't move quickly because moving quickly can cause chaos, can cause, reactions, or, there will be effects that can cause a level of drama, so many different scenarios. But I think in this situation, the most important thing is to, again, reassess. Understand that if you need to be patient, it is for a reason. If it's time to let go of a past love, or, a current love that needs to turn into a past love, it's for a reason. It's for a level of growth and transformation. So I think it's just about the perspective, on both sides in this particular situation. Okay. What else is going on in my collective? That was a pretty heavy one. Okay. Epiphany is next. Every day is a day to learn or discover something new. No matter how small or great, knowledge is power. Maybe some of you guys are having epiphanies recently. Again, this could be about a romantic situation. It could be about a connection. That could be a friendship. That could be a connection to a job. It could be anything, right? It could be an epiphany about family. Something has occurred to you recently, some level of knowledge that you didn't have before, and it's making you possibly see something more clear, because epiphany is about knowledge, gaining knowledge. And so you've just recently learned something. Again, this could be connected to maybe a person who is now acting out of desperation because you are choosing to walk away from them. Let's see what strengths and abilities are needed to assist here. Yeah, you're recognizing something that's happening. Exactly. There's definitely some recognition here. What fell out here? Yeah, exactly. Recognition and enlightenment. You are definitely enlightened. Like I said, you have definitely had something that just occurred to you, maybe that you missed before, maybe something, okay, something about how you're feeling in your heart. hmm So, an emotional enlightenment is what I'm getting from these. You are recognizing that you feel a certain way about a person, place, or thing. I feel like this could be pertaining to love, with this heart being out here. Um, also with, usually people acting out of desperation when they're emotional is generally due to a romantic or love situation with another person. So this could be pertaining to a group of you guys who are in a relationship right now. Maybe you have just had an epiphany about the current person you are attached to, someone you are trying to separate from who is acting out of desperation, and you can now see the desperation. You can see their attempts to try to hold you, where the advice, right, was to let go of past love, let go in order to grow. I feel like you've had an epiphany, some level of enlightenment about another person, that you want to go towards. And it is making you feel from your heart space much differently. Your heart knows the truth. So, again, epiphany, your emotions and your heart, your mind and your heart are now coming into balance. So you are feeling this level of epiphany, from your heart space. Your emotions are now starting to match your logic. There's this level of balance coming into play with this enlightenment, and you're recognizing it. You're starting to feel it, and you're starting to understand it. So there is the emotional side and the illogical side that you become enlightened about here in this particular situation. Interesting. Okay. All right. Well, let's see. So again, you are dealing with someone, or you are feeling desperate, or someone that you are currently connected to is feeling desperate. They are acting out of desperation. They have this feeling that you are getting ready to walk away from them. They are noticing that your actions, are different towards them. You're not wanting to connect with them. You're spending more time separated from them, even if you guys live together. Maybe you're spending time in a different room. You don't really want to be close to them, even in the evening. You're not wanting to be connected to them, even if you guys are sleeping, you're finding reasons to be separate. And so this person is starting to feel that your emotions, your heart space is starting to change. And they are starting to maybe do things out of desperation to try to get your attention. They're doing things out of desperation to try to, get you to stay, because again, even if you have not said this out loud, they can feel this energetically, that you are wanting to walk away, you're wanting to make a different decision, you're wanting to leave. And again, you're also feeling desperate, but patience is needed. But you're starting to lose patience, and you're starting to get desperate because you feel like it's really time to go. You're ready to move now, but you can't at this point in time. And again, your heart has awakened. Your heart chakra has now started to open and started to process this new emotions, these new emotions that you're feeling for another person. I'm going to say another person because I feel like you are desperate to walk away from where you are now. And so that means, and that tells me that there's somebody else in your thought process, in your heart space, and you're having these epiphanies, you're feeling, these emotions, you're recognizing the emotions, and the way that you feel about this other person. Meditate. Let's see, what's the advice on meditate? Strength, admiration, illusion. Okay. So choose to meditate on good things, because whatever you choose to contemplate on the most is what the universe will give you. So I feel like you guys may be trying to manifest this person, this new situation. And again, it makes sense because you're desperate. You really want change. You are now having these epiphanies. You're recognizing your emotions, probably after being numb for a very long time, or being very complacent, being very mundane in your everyday life. All of a sudden, you've now, realized and had this epiphany about another person, and you are now recognizing your emotions. They make logical sense and emotional sense to you. And so I feel like this is who you are thinking about a lot, maybe meditating. Just even if you don't meditate, it's just someone that is constantly on your mind. And I feel like the illusion is no longer there. You're now being able to see clearly. You realize that you were caught in an illusion. A false, partnership. There was a lot of misunderstandings because you were never on the same page, because you didn't have anything in common. You are starting now to look beyond the surface of your situation. Just because something looks good on the outside, right, doesn't mean that it's good on the inside. Um, and basically you're now starting to see the truth. And I feel like the person that you are thinking about, that you are contemplating on heavily and often, is someone with tremendous strength, and this is somebody that you admire. And I feel like that is because that is why your heart space is starting to open and feel towards them in the way that it is. You truly see the strength in this particular individual. Um, you're realizing they are much stronger than they seem externally. Um, and you are also realizing that you're going to have to be strong in this situation, have patience in this situation. So it says, you are stronger than you realize, though the times may be tough. Remember that you have the courage and resilience to get through it. Your inner strength will help you overcome all obstacles. So you are dealing with a lot of obstacles, again, trying to get to the next chapter, the next step in life. So it's going to take a tremendous amount of strength on your part. You are really going to have to focus with this meditate here. You're going to have to stay focused on the goal. But again, I also feel like this is pertaining to something that you are thinking about heavily. Again, this is someone that you have a lot of admiration for, because you see how strong they are. They don't live in a place of illusion. Admiration says you are worthy of admiration and respect. Have you been downplaying your value? Accept compliments and be proud of your achievements. You deserve recognition. So yeah, I feel like this is someone who you definitely want to recognize, give some recognition to. You definitely admire and respect their resilience, their strength, how they've overcome obstacles. I feel like this is inspiring you to do so as well. Again, this is why your heart space is starting to feel for them on this type of emotional level. I feel like you maybe not don't have that with your current partner, your current situation. And again, these are the epiphanies. These are the things that you are recognizing at this time, the things that you are being enlightened to. I could definitely see how that could, cause issues, especially if you are in a current partnership, but like they always say, the heart wants what the heart wants. The heart knows the truth. And, it doesn't mean that just because, someone feels a certain way, it doesn't mean that, it feels it's equal on both sides, right? So even though you may be feeling this level of admiration, having these epiphanies about how you feel in your heart for another, just be mindful. It's possible that it may not be equal, so you definitely have to practice a level of patience. Even if you are feeling desperate at this time, even if you are ready for change, it doesn't mean that that is the direction that's going to be good for both parties. What else is going on in the collective? I know that you are uncomfortable. I understand. Comfort in the reverse. I understand. I understand that the current situation that you find yourself in is definitely not comfortable. Again, how it falls under desperation, it makes complete sense. You are definitely ready to move on. You're ready to move forward. What's the strengths and abilities here? So happy, rekindle connection. You feel like this person is sacred, sacred union, divine union. So you feel like this is your other half, this person that you have heavily on your mind that you think about often. I just confirmed it. Yeah, you think that this person, or you feel this person is a soul bond, a soul connection. This is why you want to rekindle. When we say rekindle, this is usually about someone from your past, someone that you want to reconnect with, and you're desperate for this. You are really desiring this person at this time. They're heavily on your mind often. Again, I feel like you've been having these epiphanies, not only logically, but also from your heart space, when probably you're a person who usually only uses your logic. So I think the enlightenment of the fact that your heart space is now matching your logic, I feel like it's really pushing you to want to get out of this place of being uncomfortable. You really want to change the situation quickly, but it's going to take patience, because I feel like you have this feeling that this person that you are heavily thinking about is a soul bond, is a twin flame, is a sacred union. I feel like maybe this is one of your epiphanies that you feel that you've had. And again, I feel like this is why you are desperately ready to go, because you are so uncomfortable in the current situation, knowing that you feel this way wholeheartedly now. um, it's becoming a struggle just to try to get through the days, to get through the daily routines, try to keep a, straight face, a neutral face, especially based on how you're feeling deep down. Interesting. So yeah, it's definitely feeling uncomfortable. And like I said, I get it. I understand. It definitely makes sense based on the situation for sure. What else? What else? So you're coming out of your dark night of the soul. Yeah, this is why you're having, and how it falls under epiphany. So again, makes sense. This is why you now have enlightenment. This is why now you feel from your heart space. This is why you now feel your heart chakra opening, because you are becoming enlightened to, yeah, confirmation. You have clarity now. So this is why this is hitting you so heavy. This is why you feel so desperate to change the situation, to come out of the situation, because this is something that now you have so much clarity on. All you can think about is how uncomfortable you are in your current situation. You're desperate for a sense of almost like freedom, freedom to truly feel how you really feel, now that you understand how you really feel. But it probably took you a while to actually figure out how you really feel. Actually, as you were going through your dark night of the soul, you were understanding, you were finding a level of understanding. You were probably in hangman for a while, trying to gain perspective, trying to gain knowledge. And again, now that, after all your research, after paying attention, probably prayer, seeing signs and synchronicities, there's probably been so many things that have come to you as far as knowledge to help you to gain this clarity. And now that you have it, again, you are so ready to get out of this uncomfortableness that you find yourself in. And it says, for clarity, clear vision is leading you forward. Have you been feeling uncertain? Clarity is emerging. Take action with confidence and trust in your path. So, yeah, I feel like you truly feel like you have more clarity than you've ever had in a very, very long time. And I feel like you are so ready to jump forward and take action towards a path because, yeah, you are ready to have some level of reconciliation with this person. Like I said, I could tell this is someone from your past with that soul bond, reconcile. Now we have reconciliation here. Like I said, you have just come out of the dark night of the soul, or you finishing. And again, with that epiphany, that level of clarity, you have been focused. And again, your heart space is now matching your logic. So, yes, you are ready to try to reconcile with this past person. Says it may be time to reconcile with someone or something. Is there an unresolved issue weighing on you? Exactly. It's heavy on you for sure right now. Taking the first step toward peace will bring inner tranquility and strengthen your future relationships. So, yeah, it's almost like trying to resolve a past issue that's been lingering for a while just to find some level of peace, just to get back to neutral. And I feel like if you are able to do this, you feel like you can move forward confidently towards, your true path. Because just because you reconcile, just because, you come back and you're able to find a level of peace with this other individual, it doesn't mean that this other individual is supposed to be a part of your life long term. But I feel like it is where you feel it will take this heavy weight off of your shoulder that will allow you to truly move forward confidently to the next step, whatever that may be. It could be you guys, end up staying friends. It could be you guys could be together romantically, but everybody's situation is different. That will be up to you and that other person. But either way, I feel like you are desperate for this because it's been such a heavy weight, and you are excited about the fact that you finally had this epiphany. You finally have this information that you probably have been desperate to figure out for a while. So there's a lot of levels of desperation here. Desperation with you just trying to figure out what to do, a lot of confusion, a level of desperation because you want to change your situation. You're tired of being uncomfortable and you're ready to move forward. And desperation on the part of the other person that you are connected with or were previously connected to because the situation is changing and they may not want it to. Then we have trust observe. Your intuition is quietly guiding you. But sometimes you need to pay more attention to the small changes around you. Reflect on recent moments of confusion. Exactly. By observing the little details, you'll sharpen your intuition over time. And I think that's what you did. You started to truly pay attention to the people, places, and things around you. You started to see, the ways that they would act. How some people around you, even though they smiled, they didn't have a lot of integrity. Maybe you were stabbed in the back. Maybe there were just a lot of things that started happening around you that made you see clearer, and you started to truly understand who was for you and who was not for you. And so you had time to truly reassess. And that's where your epiphany came in. That's where you started to go through this dark night of the soul. And that's why you now have this level of clarity. And at the bottom of the deck, interesting, courage. Yeah. Courage was needed in order to do all of that. Okay, one more in this situation. What else for the collective? What else is in this situation for the collective? What else for this situation in the collective? Yeah, you are now being more confident and ready to be yourself. And I think that's exciting, especially when you've come out of the dark night of the soul. That is exactly what happens. You are excited to actually be your true self. You're excited to show who you are, step into that confidence and that courage. You are realizing that most people in your life, unfortunately, who criticized you, they did that in order to hold you back. They did that in order to keep you from wanting to be your true self because they could see your true self and how valuable that really was before you could see it. So people purposely try to hold you back by making you feel insecure about certain things, wishing that they can do those things that you could do. That could just be a characteristic, that could be a physical attribute, it could be anything. People are envious of so many things, and they will, out of desperation, criticize you, make you feel insecure about that thing that they really wish they had, unfortunately. So, you being yourself was the last thing that they wanted. Barrier maze. Confusion may feel overwhelming, but remember that every maze has an exit. Yes, you might be struggling with difficult problems, but shifting your perspective could reveal the solution. And I feel like that's what you were doing. You were starting to start to see the obstacles and changing your perspective on how to deal with them. Heart. Your heart is huge right now. Your heart coming out again, and you're excited. I feel like you are truly finding a connection with self and heart. Self love here. That's what this is. This is self love. You found it. It's probably been absent in your life for a very long time, but you have finally found it because you have started to heal and do the work. Yeah. And you are so grateful. I have the chills. Because whoever it is that I'm connecting to, I feel like you are so excited about this moment, this epiphany, this realization. And you had to find it on your own. You had to be the one to go through the maze and figure out how to find the answers. And you are so grateful. Your heart is so full right now because you finally feel like you can truly be yourself and be confident in who you are, and you understand that you are valuable. Even if nobody else says that you are valuable, you already know that you are, and you're realizing that what everyone else has to say about it doesn't matter. What matters is how you think about you. And maybe for a very long time you were felt insecure, and it is because people made you feel insecure. They never wanted you to get to the point where you had this level of confidence in yourself, and you finally found your own heart again. Even just looking at the face, it's almost just like unbelievable, the feeling that they have. It's such a good feeling because it's been so long. Because when you live a life of people pleasing, of worrying about other people's opinion all the time, you'll never know who you are, what you truly want, how you truly feel about yourself. You never live from your own heart space because you're listening to so many external factors, but you finally figured out that your self love is first and foremost the thing that matters most. Wow, that's beautiful. Whoever this is that I'm connecting to, congratulations. I'm so proud of you for taking that journey through the dark night in order to find your own heart, to reconnect with self. That is also a sacred union, your connection with yourself. And you found that. And now you are ready to move forward. You are ready to reconcile. You're ready to apologize for past wrongs so that you can move forward and continue to move forward confidently. That's beautiful. That's exciting. This was awesome. Congratulations, whoever you are that I just connected to, but that's beautiful. I'm excited for you and I wish you all the best. But I can tell that your heart is so open and you are ready to speak your truth and be vulnerable, and at the bottom of the deck you are now understanding why there was a delay, because you're now understanding that a delay is never a denial. Sometimes it's just not the right time. There was work that you needed to do for you first, on yourself first, things that you needed to realize, epiphanies you needed to have, reconnecting back with your heart space. Beautiful. Yay. Like I said, whoever you are, that is absolutely incredible, exciting, amazing. Never let anybody downplay that. I don't care what people say. That is such a huge deal. It's the thing that people don't want to do most nowadays. They don't want to take the time to truly understand who they are, do the work, and understand this is not something that you can fake. You cannot pretend that you've healed. You cannot pretend that you are now enlightened. You cannot pretend that you have self love. These are not things that can be faked because it is about your energy. That's why I was able to connect. So, congratulations, like I said, whoever you are. Keep going. Hopefully, you find the love of your life now that you found your self love and you are in love with yourself again. Now, maybe you're ready to find the other part of your love. Wow. When you rise to the challenge, it rises to meet you. Confirmation. You rose to the challenge. You decided that you were worth healing for. You were worth going through the pain and heartache and diving deeper to figure out who you were, to figure out what you wanted, not what everybody else wanted, what you wanted. Everything you want is on the other side of the unknown. Confirmation. And I think you are so ready to take that leap because you are feeling more confident in who you are. That's beautiful. That is the key. You've had the power all along. You just needed to believe it. And now that you finally started to believe it, you are starting to feel it truly from your soul, from your heart space. Your mind is now in line with your heart. It's a beautiful balance. What else from your higher self? That's beautiful. Be the brave and authentic soul you were always destined to be. Yes, again, you fell in love with you. You are now okay with being your authentic self. You found you. Congratulations. Storms may bring passion, but not peace. Yeah, this is going to be a situation, especially if, like I said, if you have to walk away from someone or if there's somebody you walked away from, there's going to need to be a level of patience because you moving towards what you want is definitely not going to bring peace. Not right away. But if it's something that you are passionate about, something that you feel is worth going after, you're going to do it regardless of what you may have to deal with. And I think it's important that you deal with whatever drama or chaos that comes towards you with grace. I feel like if you've done the work to do the healing, you still need to keep your emotions in balance, keep your mindset intact, keep yourself from acting out of desperation. You don't want to lose out on all the hard work that you put in on yourself for an emotional moment. I use logic here as well. Everyone you meet is another part of you that wants to be loved. And I think you are trying to find that other part of you that wants to be loved. I think that's why you feel so deeply right now from your heart space regarding the other person, because I feel like you truly feel that is your soulmate, your soul match, your twin flame. Um, it's not surprising. There's a lot of energy around divine unions coming into play very, very soon. So I'm not surprised here. Let me get you some cosmic energy. Let's see. What other advice can I give you? Because you are just, looking beautiful. Strength. There's that strength again. Like I said, it's taken so much strength for you to get here. Be mindful moving forward. You will be tested. People will try to get you out of place because they don't like the fact that you are moving forward, that you found the strength within yourself to do the healing so that you can become a better person and not stay bitter. You stop trying to be in control and have control over everyone, and you surrendered and you just said, okay, I need to slow down and figure out me. Your inner strength is boundless and you unleashed it. Beautiful. And I feel like you are excited about this other person who you think is very strong. I think you admire this other person. Yeah, release. Exactly. You release control. Exactly. Like I just said, you release those past burdens and you embrace the new beginnings that are coming. And I think you are so excited about them. Yeah. Love the confirmations. What else? What else? This is beautiful, collective. Good job, you guys. I love it. Yeah. You guys are headed towards your happiness. That is for sure. I mean, I can feel it. Whoever I'm connecting to, yeah. Safety is the foundation of life. Cherish the calm moments. Yes, I think that you are now appreciating safety, peace, calm in your life. Again, if you are a person who had a lot of drama all the time and chaos and, again, people just acting out of their emotions all the time, it was probably never ending. And finding some level of safety and solace and quiet, you appreciate now, I feel. Yeah, my left ear is ringing. Yep, you had a rebirth. Every end is a new beginning. You are so ready for it. Yep, confirmation, transformation. You just went through your transformation, your soul's evolution. Beautiful confirmations. Woo, yes, my ear is ringing. Wow. Good job, collective. Good job. Let's get some from the Mystic Heart Path. Yep. It's not worth pursuing a path without passion. This road will only lead you to uncertainty and frustration. Follow your heart and you can't go wrong. I think, like I said, your heart space is big right now. Spark of life. Don't sink into hopelessness and despair, for in you lives a spark of life that is undefeated and unbeatable. You can overcome everything your destiny depends upon. Yep, and do it your way. You were never meant to fit in, collective. And I want people to truly understand this. We are all so significantly different, even on the smallest of levels. We were never meant to be exactly the same or do things the exact same way. The uniqueness in us is what is beautiful. You were never meant to fit in. You were born to be a wild and free force of nature, here to build new and better worlds. Allow yourself to go and do that. Be yourself, your true, authentic self, collective. Rejuvenate yourself. Yes. The spirit of love. It's here. I can feel it. Don't search for true love, for it will find you if you just hold on to who you are, your authentic self. The world already loves your essence. So don't change it for anybody. And rejuvenate yourself. Know your limits and allow them to guide you. Limitations can teach you to take better care of yourself and have full permission to rest and say no. Yes, you are no longer people pleasing. You cannot people please and be your authentic self. It doesn't work. It's an oxymoron. I love that word. But it is. Okay, what's your life message? This is beautiful. I'm so proud of you guys. I can't even express it enough. Beautiful energy. Look at that. Love is coming for somebody and they know it. Love appears. I release my pain and let go of resistance. I release the past burdens, my pain, and let go of resistance. I choose to embrace the light of my being with courage. I seek the understanding that frees me from duality. My prayers are heard, and divine assistance brings love and peace into my life. When I open my eyes, Love is here. Love is ready for somebody and waiting. Love is the highest vibration. It is always available when you are ready for it. It is always waiting for you, collective. It is limitless. And a group of you guys in this collective have just figured that out. And you started with loving yourself again, maybe for the first time. And it feels good. The epiphany of it feels amazing. So you are going to attract the love that you need, the support that you need. You are going to be comfortable in your authenticity because you know that you are allowed to, because there are people who are going to love you for it, and you now love you for it. It's waiting. Wow. The most important angel number for the collective needed at this time. Communicate, angel number 611. You might be seeing these numbers 211, 311, 411, 611, 711, 811. Communicate. And what does that say, collective? Speak your heart. Somebody's heart is open. The heart space is huge right now. Say what you need to say. Your angels are encouraging you to communicate your wants, needs, and thoughts to the people around you who love you. Think of a change that could make a relationship in your life stronger. Tell the person you love about it in a way that they can hear. Communication is such a big deal. You cannot have great relationships on any level without good communication, clear communication, not confusion. Confusion is not communication. Confusion is manipulation. Communication is clarity. It is truth. It is integrity. It is speaking from the heart. Even the emotions that scare you, that you fear, is saying it anyway because you know that it will give the person that you love clarity. It is not withholding. It's time for somebody to start communicating from their heart space. And maybe for the first time in a very long time. But if, collective, you have truly released the burdens of your past and you are ready to embrace new beginnings, this is what you are challenged to do at this time. And I believe you are ready for it. It's going to take a level of strength and courage. Yes, of course, there's going to be fear, of course. But everything that you want is on the other side of the unknown. So it's up to you. Wow, this is an amazing message. For whoever I connected to, I really, truly, like I said, pray that things go well for you. Like I said, I would love to know about it in the comments. If the message resonated, let me know. You guys hit that like button, comment, share, subscribe, and follow your girl. But until next time, you guys, bye.